right. So, Melissa.
Igor, hi.
Hi, Melissa. So, I invited you because recently I've been sending a lot of people to do the reconnection, and you are a reconnection facilitator and also a teacher. So, I thought it would be interesting to get you on the podcast and ask you about it so that if people have doubts, if they want some more information about it, they can just watch the podcast and he's like, oh, okay, this is what it's about. Because when you look online, there's like frequencies and this and that. And yeah, maybe you can you can just share it in a way that's like understandable.
Yeah, sure, Igor. Thanks for having me. I will do my best to explain everything in just perfect words.
Thank you. So, first of all, what is like your background?
Oh, my background.
Hmm?
My background is really just ordinary, nothing special. I
Mm,
grew up in a little town in Flanders in an ordinary family and nothing special. Not
mm,
special.
mm. And at what point did you like get in touch with like spirituality and energy work?
Yeah, so when I look back, we always can tell there've been key points that I ignored. And at a certain point, I couldn't ignore it anymore because I was having a severe burnout. I couldn't move, think, severe brain fog, no physical action possible anymore. So I had to go inside. I had to say, well, what will it be? Will I continue living like this, or will I just make it end it here? Because this is not possible anymore for me. And this point changed a lot because from that point on, I started to investigate everything and okay, if this body doesn't want to move, what am I going to do to change my the depressive state, the negative state I was in at that time. So yeah, I think if it is meant to be, um, we always will get the challenges we need to confront ourselves, to get to know
Mm,
ourselves, you know.
mm, mm. And how did you come to learn about reconnective healing?
Well, in these times, I was looking for solutions, healing. I wanted to get better. My body was really searching to be able to move again, to feel joyful and alive. And in this search, I did a lot of things. But in a certain point, I saw in the library the book of Dr. Pearl, and it's very spiritual. It's not the things I read at that time, but I took it anyway. And the day after, I finished it. And as I was finishing and closing it, I was having this thought, you will teach this, which was ridiculous, well, but afterwards I understand that these kind of thoughts, what I thought it were thoughts, it's not really, it was my soul speaking.
Mm,
And from that point on, I can't teach this, but maybe I can do a session. So I looked for a practitioner in my neighborhood, did a session, and yeah, from then off
mm,
it was calling, calling, calling. I couldn't even that I was not a spiritual person at all. I was afraid of spirituality. I was afraid of myself,
mm,
but I couldn't. I had to do it, and even I was so afraid for my family and friends. What are they going to think? what are they going to say? I can't wave with my hands, like I never will do it. It's stupid, you know. But I had to do it. I had to do it. So I did it.
Mm.
I went to Prague and I met Dr. Pearl and Gillian, and I learned everything about reconnection and reconnective healing. And yeah, well, life is beautiful again. Yeah, and meaningful. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Can I ask you, how was your first experience?
You mean my first session with the practitioner?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was impressive. But at the same time, I was thinking, what did just happen? I didn't have words for it. I started to talk English, and I can't speak English. I started to dream in English. It was so special. I even now find difficult words for it, but it was beautiful. And
Mm.
I remember stepping, it was finished. I was going outside to my car, and I was thinking, I don't know what happened, but this is huge, but I don't know what it is.
Mm. Wow. During your session, did you experience energy or sensations or visuals, or can you share something about what can happen during a session and after a session?
Yes, this is very individual. It it can be that you, as a client, you notice nothing. You just like you're having peace and quiet. You relax. You're having thoughts. But at the same time, you can experience everything and beyond. So, as you are in a session um, outside space and time, we can experience things that we never experienced before, that our sentences, zintuigen, are not really understand
Mm.
because it's too weird.
Mm.
They, they capture something they can't understand.
Yeah.
So everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Mm. And like when somebody goes for a session, for a reconnective healing session, and the practitioner is there near the table and the client is laying on the table, what is the practitioner doing and what is actually happening that is seen or unseen?
Okay. What is actually happening? I, you could say nothing and you could say everything. I
Mm.
think the practitioner is just by tuning in, by noticing the frequencies, just in this happening, already something is happening.
Mm.
But you can see it's difficult to explain. You have to experience.
Mm. 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 What I mean is it like that, for instance, the practitioner is more or less, like you said, tuning in and channeling certain energy frequencies or frequencies?
Igor, but you have to understand, reconnective healing is nothing like other modalities. At
Uh-huh.
the same time, each modality has his good points and his to-dos and everything. But you have to understand, you can't talk about reconnective healing like this. Well, it's not that it is better, it's just different. Reconnective healing is taking place nowhere and everywhere. So it has all these different modalities under his like umbrella.
Ah.
So if you ask me, what do you have to do? Nothing. You don't have to do. And it is not easy to do nothing because we human are used to do something. We need um, structure. We need steps. But this is not necessary. And this thing called reconnective healing, which is not a technique, can be learned easily very easy.
Mm. Mm.
But by experiencing. And this is what we teach in the seminar. So in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, where people really experience at the massage table as a client as well as a practitioner, what is this doing? What am I experiencing? How, in the interaction, you got to learn.
Mm. Mm.
It's very clear, but not with the mind. It's very clear that Sunday night you can facilitate a session.
Interesting. And for the clients, like, how do they experience a healing?
Yeah. I find this a very, very beautiful question, but as this is, it's all about you, As a practitioner, it's all about you. As a client, it's all about you. So I can't predict how it will be. As we talk about consciousness, will this person ever know that or understand his healing, what changed, and how will he handle this changing? I cannot predict. It's For example, I had a client that came with her mother. Her mother was in a wheelchair. After the session, a week or two, I get a message from the daughter. My mom, she's able to leave the wheelchair behind, but I can see she's attached to the life that is giving it to her, so I respect it. So here you can see things may change in which way I can't predict, and also we can't say how people will react at this change. You understand what I mean?
So it's not like, oh, you want to heal this? Come and we'll heal this.
No, because it's holistic. When you have your elbow, it comes from a certain state of mind, a certain pattern that you're in, and so when you heal this, who knows what will change? Maybe your work will change, or you will. Everything is possible. Everything.
So, if I understand it correctly, when the practitioner and the client are in the room, the practitioner is observing frequencies, and the frequencies are interacting with the client. Is that right to say or not?
Yes, I guess you could say there are three parties in the room, which is you, the practitioner, the client, and the universe, the frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So in this triangle, things are moving.
Okay. Can I ask you, when you are facilitating, when you are with the client and you are in the process of reconnective healing, how does it feel for you? What's happening for you?
Each session is different. So as a practitioner, you learn to not give meaning to what you observe. And this is an unlearning. And I find it very interesting because each session, again, is different. So each session is meaningful, but at the same time, let it go. But it's not important. But it's so what I experience in sessions with clients is really very much for me meaningful, and never for the client. But we do have some debriefing after the session, so the client can just can can how can I say it? Can just How kan je het?
That the client can share about his experience.
Right. Right.
That's fine. Okay. So for you, what made you want to decide to dedicate yourself to this work?
Again, this is not something that I thought through. If I had thought it through, I didn't do this work. So it's, I guess, the closest word that is fitting is a calling. I call it a calling, but it's a bit a strange word. But I each time see my next step, and it's going this direction. So I have to do it. Yeah.
How many sessions do you recommend for people?
Yes. Good question. Also, this is very individual. As Reconnective Healing is reconnecting us with what we truly are, I find it very important to point out to clients that they know when to come back. So before, back in the times, we would say 1 to 3 sessions is normal, 1 to 3 sessions, and it still is. It's true, but sometimes people come back 10, 20 times, and sometimes people just come once, and it's okay. So it's also very individual, and I like to share this with clients. So when I come up in your mind, maybe it's time for a session. If I don't, well, we won't give you an appointment now to come back next week. No. Doesn't work like this.
You said when people reconnect to who they really are. What do you mean by that?
Do you find it too spiritual when
No, not at all. I just I wonder, can you elaborate on that?
I can try to explain how I see it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very difficult to explain in words. This Melissa thing this is just, it's a body, but it's not me, not defining me. I am more than this, and in fact, it's everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm connected with everything. So once you understand this concept, you can reconnect, and this reconnecting thing is a process. It will never be, oh, now I'm there, now well, the reconnection is like this, but also the reconnection is a process in a human life. You understand what I mean?
When you say reconnect to what?
Yeah, I see this as reconnect with source, if you want. Okay.
Yeah.
But source, what is it really? It's just everything. It's energy. Source is not right up in the sky there like a ball with energy. No, it's us, source. So it's very, yeah, it's very difficult to explain.
And are people then in their like daily day-to-day life, are they not reconnected to source?
Yeah, it's, we already are reconnected. Only you could say we forgot. We forgot about our, and this is why, in this glimpse we got in our lives, like the book that closes, and these are, like, you could say, remembering. I saw the book of Dr. Pearl in the library, and there was a remembering, not consciousness, but not conscious, but like the.
So what is the personal reconnection and how does that work?
Yeah. So reconnective healing, the frequencies, if you want to call it like this, come into. No, let me explain it the other way. There's two. ways you can interact with the frequencies. It's the normal sessions and the personal reconnection. The normal sessions is you can do as much as you want. The personal reconnection is just once in a lifetime. Once you are reconnected, you are reconnected. And what is this process all about? It's 2 sessions in 2 days or 3 days, and it's about energetically reconnecting 3 systems. So the first system is the lines and the points on the body, which are a bit like, the lines we know in Chinese medicine and things like this. But it's not quite the same, but you could say it's like this. Then you have the energetic lines of the earth, the ley lines, and the third system is the grid, the universal grid. So in these 2 days, we energetically realign these 3 systems. And where the normal sessions, Reconnective Healing, are having a balancing effect on physically, emotional, spiritual, mental, the reconnection, we can really see that people are accelerating their life path, if you want. They are professionally finding like their thing. It's like a highway. You know, when you're on the highway, you have to, is this something for me? Is that for me? No. But sometimes you are way up there before you realize, no, I have to get back because this is not my path. And once you have had the personal reconnection, it becomes easier. Life doesn't become easier, but choices are becoming easier. It becomes more clear what you have to do and what not. And before you had to have this time and thinking and, well, this is something you can leave behind. And it's more like, this is for me. This I can just ignore. So this is why we call this like an acceleration. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. And for who is this?
The personal reconnection is really a personal choice, always. Where you can facilitate sessions for, children that maybe or elder people that not really, choose for it maybe. The personal reconnection is always a personal choice. You feel it. Sometimes I have people in my practice and they say, well, what should I do, this or that? And well, if you ask them, what do you think you need? People know what they need and what they want. So also this is beautiful to experience that they know why they're there for the session or for the personal reconnection.
Yeah, interesting. And so what kind of impact does this have on people's life? If you look at people that you know, that you've seen, and yourself, of course, what kind of impact does this have on their life?
As I say, you see them take decisions, and sometimes it can really, really go quickly. Relationships that doesn't work anymore, or a job that doesn't fit anymore, or bad relations with parents or a child that suddenly become more clear because you understand I don't have to fight, or that it can be so different, Igor.
Okay.
As a practitioner, we don't always see the result, if you want, or the changes, because people come for their personal reconnection and then afterwards you may never see them again or hear them again. But sometimes you get these messages or phone calls a year later, and it is beautiful. Yeah.
Can I ask you, in your own personal life, after the 2 days of the reconnection, what happened with you, like in the year after that?
Yes. Um, um, my first sessions, I had really strong, we call it registers. I saw and felt, and it was magical. The personal reconnection for me, it was, I didn't, well, it was like, okay. But now, after a couple of years, I can still sense these periods of acceleration, I call it, when you really feel that you're on your way to make a move or to decide something, and it's going to go in a certain direction. You don't know this direction, so you have a lot of resistance. But once you've done this, like these waves, a couple of times, you understand yourself. Well, I understand. I see it and I feel it coming now. And as you can lower your resistance and your fear for the new thing, you can really experience these accelerations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Because you have had your.
Yeah, for sure. Like after my personal reconnection, I saw a lot of synchronistic connections with people, meetings, new opportunities, and very fast also. So yeah, it does feel like you are on this, like you say, highway, and you really feel like, oh yeah, this is for me, this is not for me, and you really feel that it's like meaningful, that you're really like meeting people and they're opening something for you, or you're going to a new level on some things, and you really feel like, whoa, I'm living, and I'm like developing and growing. So it's really nice. Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. So it's sometimes hard to explain, as you say. Life doesn't become easier, but we move more free or more easy in a chaotic life sometimes. Like your skills or your antenna, your GPS is working well on 100%.
It's interesting. Can I ask you, what do you think of like karma?
Yeah, I I have to say I'm maybe a bit different than other people in all these kind of spiritual things.
Mm?
Everything that is not really bringing me somewhere doesn't have my interest. So karma, I guess you could say it exists, and I guess you could say there's something like fate. I guess you could say it's better to do good in life, but really, I'm not. I'm just moving forward, and
Mm.
yeah, no, I couldn't say something intelligent about karma. No.
Fair enough. What do you think this work, reconnective healing, the personal reconnection, what do you think this exists for?
The same reason we exist. And also, this is very individual. And at the same time, it's all the same thing we are here for. In my opinion, we are here to experience our what we truly are, like love, light, you know, and and that's it. So the more we can live this to the fullest, and well, that's all what it is about, I think.
Mhm.
It's not complicated. It's not,
Mm. So is it fair to say that something like these modalities, they exist to help us live love and light, more or less?
No, I don't see it this way. Reconnective healing, in fact, is what we are. But Dr. Pearl, 30 years ago, discovered it, gave it a name because people needed a name. But he himself, he wouldn't, he did not like to give it a name because then it is a thing. When it's a thing, well, it has to be, it's limiting.
Mm-hmm.
But we're human, so we need structure, we need names, we need
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that. I really do think it is what we are.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you, what is like your mission in life?
I don't have a mission. I have a mission to stay alive and to create a meaningful life for me, not for other people. I do think I am a bit atypical also in this. I don't want to, serve or help or support. I just want to stay alive and do something meaningful,
Yeah.
something that is meaningful for me. And on the spot of search for meaning, I can notice that I do good things for people. I can notice that I help them. It's still, moving on and expanding in this way. So I keep on doing what I do. And
Mm.
I'm very grateful for this insight, um, for the simplicity of my life, my work,
Mm.
and for the things I can see that people are, supported and.
Yeah. I wonder, how did Reconnective Healing and the Reconnection help you in your life with your search?
Very much and still ongoing. Yeah. I don't know if you know the story about my son, but well, if you have kids that are suffering, it's as a mom, it is very difficult to understand that you really can't help them. They're on themselves. And Reconnective Healing really helped me to just understand that I'm okay as I am without needing to help. So, and this is still on a daily basis almost that I have this tool, if you want, that I have this knowingness that I can return to. Yeah, I use it all the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. So, if people want to find their purpose, their mission, where do they start?
With themselves. Everything starts always with you. Yeah. When did you decide to do this podcast? You just decided.
Mm.
Something beautiful, eh?
Mm. Mm. And would you advise them to work in a particular way or do some things to get the answer, or?
Mhm. As everything starts with yourself, this is really the first thing to do in this society when we have to do a lot. It's for me, it's a matter of letting go of doing a lot and making room, making space, making time for yourself to quiet your mind and to try to step out of the chaos, just observe what is going on in your life. And people can do this on different ways, and my way is reconnective healing, but
Yeah.
people do it by meditation, by all kinds of People go sometimes to psychologists, and well, there's no wrong way. That's just your way. So this is also a bit the difficulty of this work, where I sometimes struggle. I want to attract people. I want to have, a successful practice with lots of clients. At the same time, I know I don't have to do anything. When people look for something like Reconnective Healing, they will find me. So it's both things are true, but how will I handle this? And this is different for everyone. So when you start your search, start with yourself, with what is going on, with what you can observe in your life, and this is enough to explore and to, what is going on.
Somebody asked me, why is something like the Reconnection so accessible and effective? Is it almost like a cheat?
Beautiful question. Is it like a cheat?
Because maybe other people have to meditate and do things to get into this kind of flow, and here why is it so accessible?
Yes, why? Don't ask why, just experience it. But I do had the same in the beginning of my practice. I was also thinking, what, this is, I'm helping people, I'm earning money, and I'm healing myself at the same time. Is it possible? Well, yes, it is possible. It is. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean when you say you're helping, but you're also healing yourself? How are you also healing yourself?
I can experience by moving on this path of, being a practitioner was a huge step forward for me to accept that I had to do this work that I was afraid of and didn't want to. So, but then again was the mentorship, becoming a mentor and becoming an organizer and becoming an instructor. I continuously experiencing chaos and contrast, because these are all new things for me. So I have to heal myself. I have to become this person I didn't was before in order to grow and to continue growing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share or say?
I'm grateful for my life, and I'm grateful for this opportunity you gave me to reflect and give words. And it's not always easy, but I like this talk very much. Thank you, Igor.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Thank you.